Howdy everyone. Just going to be a little talking video here to cover how recovery's been going since my unofficial marathon and what my next targets are. So first off, I just want to say thank you for watching my unofficial marathon video. I'm glad that many of you have been enjoying that, and numbers wise it's pretty crazy that this is already probably my second best video ever when you look at the number of views and likes and such, and it's only been out almost a week at this point. I released it like a week ago Tuesday evening, and it's Tuesday morning right now, so that's pretty crazy. Currently the only video ahead of it is my analysis of sub 15 5K training video, which I released probably like 2.5 years ago, and it's accumulated like 105,000 views over time, but so that's kind of a higher bar, but this one's only been out a week, so it could catch it pretty soon. So now let's talk about recovery since the marathon. So I did the marathon 2 Sundays ago. This is my 9th day of recovery since the marathon. Immediately after the marathon, I had a really hard time gaining my appetite back, and I still forced some food down right away after the marathon and for lunch, but that was really challenging, and I wasn't able to get like a bunch of stuff in me, but enough to start recovering anyways. The best thing was cold water. That was amazing, just having a cold glass of water, and so that was a big thing, was just getting hydrated again. And then later that evening on Sunday, I started to get my appetite back, and then I was kind of ravenous the Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday, kind of making up for that caloric deficit, so caught up on that pretty quick. So also on Sunday afternoon, I wasn't super sore yet. I still had trouble walking around, but it was mainly a fatigue that I was dealing with on Sunday. And we had practice that afternoon, so I couldn't really just sleep all afternoon, but I was really excited to get to bed that night on Sunday. And then when I woke up on Monday, that's when the soreness really hit me. I was sore pretty much all over, but the worst was definitely my quads. And walking around was really tough, and the hardest thing was walking downstairs. That was very tough. It took me a long time to walk down a nice flight of stairs, and Tuesday wasn't much different. I didn't feel any improvement in soreness on Tuesday, and then finally on Wednesday, some of the soreness started to subside to where I could walk around pretty normal, but walking downstairs was still pretty tough. In fact, early in the day, I was walking down a short flight of stairs and I kind of forgot about the soreness, so I kind of hurried down them like I normally would, and then halfway down, just a few steps down, my quads completely cramped up on me and kind of reignited some of that soreness. But then Thursday, it subsided again, and just had a little bit of soreness left on Thursday. Friday was the first morning that I woke up feeling not sore anymore, and like I could go for a run if I wanted to. So like I said earlier, this is the 9th day of recovery after my marathon, and I still have not run yet, and there are a few different reasons for that. The primary reason is that ever since my 8K cross-country race at KU, probably a month and a half ago, I've been dealing with a minor problem in my left foot, and I think that was due to just wearing spikes for the first time in over a year for an 8K cross-country race, a muddy race at that, and I just wasn't ready for the spikes yet, so caused some issues there. It hasn't been anything too bad. Like, it has never once compromised my training to where I had to cut a run short or completely delete a run, or slow down in a workout or run because of it, but it has been something I've dealt with on a daily basis, and it's not quite gone yet. It feels really good after resting, like when I wake up in the morning, but if I spend quite a bit of time walking around, like this past Saturday and Sunday, I played a round of disc golf each of those days. It got a little bit sore after that, so it's something that I can train through, obviously, but it's also something that while I'm taking time off, I'd rather it completely go away and completely heal before I start training again. So the second reason that I haven't run again yet is just because the time off is good for you. Up to 2 weeks off is great, especially if you have little aches and pains that you still need to heal up. But going back to my Houston half marathon training, I trained for 10 weeks, and that included a build-up and getting into specific training and getting to high volume and then racing. And before that 10 weeks, I had 2 weeks completely off. So a 10-week training cycle for a half marathon is pretty short, but obviously it was still enough time for me to gain fitness back that I lost over 2 weeks. And I didn't lose very much fitness, but a little bit for sure. And then, but you gain that back really quickly. And I think the benefits of getting your body completely healthy and ready to train again are worth the lost time training. So I'm not worried about taking a little extra time off right now. And the third reason that I haven't run again yet is just because my next target or targets are still several months away. So I'm in no rush to get super fit again, although I don't want to lose more fitness than I need to, but I'm just not in a major rush like to get in shape for Houston or anything. So other than the minor problem in my left foot, it has been super refreshing to wake up and not feel like an old man every morning. That's pretty much how it's felt in the past 2 years when I wake up. So even in the times that I wasn't running due to injury, like my body just felt so beat up, and my Achilles were always very, very tight in the morning. I've been dealing with Achilles tendonitis for such a long time, and those feel pretty good now. And like, it just felt like throughout those past couple years, I was better off waiting till the afternoon or the evening to run, just because that's when my body would be warmed up. But lately I've been waking up feeling great, so I can't wait to see how that translates to training in my next training cycle. So now I'm going to talk about what my next targets are moving forward. Some people have told me that I need to focus 100% on the roads and gear everything towards half marathon and marathon training, but the truth is that's really hard for me to do in my current situation as a college coach. As a college coach, we are very, very busy throughout the academic year, so that's pretty much August through May, with a little time off during the winter break in December and January, but pretty much add a track meet or cross-country meet every other weekend or every weekend, and it's really hard for me to get away to go to a road race just because I don't like missing practice. You know, I think that's important and that's valuable for the team, and I need to be there. So I don't like doing that, so it makes more sense for me to focus on some track racing and cross-country racing. So that is my next target, is focusing on the outdoor track season, mainly in April or so. So my goal is to run a personal best in the 1500, the 5K, and the 10K this outdoor track season. During indoor season, I might try to give myself a shot at a 3K personal best, because I really wanted to run a 3K for a long time and I haven't run one since college. So running a PB in that would be pretty cool. So while recording this video, I did fail to mention that my long-term focus still is on the roads and being able to eventually qualify for the Olympic Trials Marathon, but in my current situation, that's pretty much out of the question for the 2020 Olympic year, and the next Olympic year obviously isn't until 2024, so I've got a lot of time to do some other things, and I would love to be able to get my track PBs down to, I think that would be important in helping my development in the marathon in the future. So just want to throw that in there real quick. So currently my official PBs are as follows. I've run 407.14 in the 1500. My 5K official PB is 1456.06, but I've run 1453 in a time trial, so I'd really like to knock off that 1453 so I don't have to always explain, well, I've run this officially and this in a time trial, so I just want to get under 1453 for sure. And then in the 10K, I've run 3057.79. While in college, I ran 848 in the 3K on a 200 meter flat track, so with a 300 meter track and everything, I think I can knock that PB down a little bit if the opportunity presents itself this indoor season. So I do have some lifetime goals for these races that I would like to achieve, but I think they're pretty unrealistic for me to achieve this following track season, but I do want to eventually achieve them, but for right now I just want to chip away at them. So my lifetime goals for these are to break 4 in the 1500, to run under 1435 in the 5K, and under 30 minutes in the 10K. So if I can chip away at those at all, whether it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I don't care. I just want to be able to PB in all of those events, because that'll mean that I've done better than I ever have before. So now let's go back to my Houston half marathon where I ran 106.55. If I have to give myself an honest assessment of what I could have run in 5K and 10K on that day, meaning, you know, I take that exact same fitness, exact same conditions, I just put myself on a track instead of the roads for a half marathon, you know, I really feel like I could have run maybe 14:45 in a 5K and maybe 30:30 in a 10K. Of course, I didn't actually run those, and I can't say I'm a 30:30 10K runner just because I feel like that's where my fitness was at, but if I can run those times on the track this April, then I feel like I've really gotten back to a fitness where I'm better than I ever was. So those would be times I'd be absolutely thrilled with to hit, but like I said before, if I can PB by just a little bit, whether it's a 1/10 of a second or by 5 seconds, whatever it is, I'm going to be happy with it. So that's the goal. for this April. So now the route that I'm going to take with my training to hopefully put myself in a position to PB in all those races is still up in the air. I haven't really thought about my training too much and how I want to approach it, just because I'm really embracing this break from running and taking a break from it mentally and physically. So I'm just being a regular dude right now, and then I'll start thinking about my training in the coming weeks. So that being said, that's all I have for this video. I'll see you in the next one.